Hello there.
To another episode of our weekly Doctor Who podcast, Doctor Who Time and Space, with me, Lewis Moon.
And me, D. Cool. And I don't think we had any technical issues there at all, did we?
No technical issues.
Wowza. So you can probably hear the music rather than it sounding like it was being done in another universe.
Hopefully you could hear that. Because I got a bit worried because the ding didn't go off.
I didn't hear any dings either, actually.
It usually goes ding.
Yeah.
So,
but it looks like the microphone's working, so hopefully you can all hear us.
Hopefully.
So, Mr. Lewis Moon, what do we have on this week's show?
Well, I was just going to say first, if I sound a bit weird, if I sound like an alien, it's because I've got a cold.
You have.
So.
But don't worry, you can't catch it.
Yes.
You know, I know there are computer viruses and things around, but this isn't one.
They're not for you, they're for the computers.
I'll probably catch it.
Yeah.
So next week, I'll probably be sounding like that next week.
What do I sound like?
A bit like that.
Do I?
No,
Okay.
not too much.
Okay.
So what do we have on this week's show then, Lee?
We have the first of our Doctor Through the Decades series, and today we are looking in depth at the 1960s.
Fantastic. That sounds good. We also will be giving a little bit of feedback on the first part of the Sea Devils.
The first three parts.
First 3 parts.
Yeah.
Sea Devils.
We have another round of Who to Face, and I think I'm going first.
You are. And also, finally, we will have some news and views from the whoniverse.
And that's what we're going to kick off with when I can find it, because I forgot to look it up. So, How have you been this week then? Is there any stuff you've been doing which you'd like to share with us?
Well, what have I started? I've started writing again. That's one of my New Year resolutions.
Yes, so you're used to 2016 now.
It is, yes. So that was one of my Who Year's resolutions. I can't speak. What else have I been doing? I started watching Daredevil.
Yeah.
Which is really, really good.
Yes. I saw Cult Fix, which is a website which is linked to Doctor TV.
Yeah.
Said Daredevil was in the top 10 programs of 2015.
Okay. It might well be. I mean,
and Jessica Jones was in there as well.
Yeah, well, that was really good. In fact, I probably slightly prefer Jessica Jones, but I've only just started watching Daredevil.
I think Daredevil was above it.
Probably would be. I think most people say it's a bit better. Both very good though. But what else have I been doing? That's probably the main thing. Listening to the new Bowie album, which is very, very good. Can't be a bit of
My mum said it's a bit weird.
It's very weird.
Yes.
Very weird.
She doesn't really like it.
No.
The new Bowie album, I don't think.
Yeah, I really like. I like it a lot more, but I like the weird ones best.
Yes. You like that?
So, have you found the news?
Yes.
You have.
So,
before I tangent away even more.
The 2016 National Television Awards shortlist has been announced. So, shortlist nominations have opened for this year's National Television Awards. Doctor Who has been nominated for Best Drama. It faces competition this year from Broadchurch, Casualty, and Downton Abbey. And I think it's going to be tough between Doctor Who and Broadchurch.
Yeah, and even Downton Abbey, actually, because I mean, it's very, very popular, isn't it? Certainly.
A lot of people love it, but I have also heard a lot of people hate it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit like a soap opera, isn't it, really? Just old-fashioned soap
but it's boring.
Hmm.
Have you ever watched it before?
I'd seen the first one. It was alright. It was okay.
I watched the Christmas special. Yeah. That's probably... I did watch one other one, but...
Yeah, it's not overly exciting, is it?
Not the most recent Christmas special.
No, she charged that up or not? I think I did, yeah.
Yes, you did.
Sorry, we're talking amongst ourselves there. So, yeah, it stands a good chance, I think.
Yes.
But it's some stiff competition. I'm not sure Broadchurch. I don't think the second series that was meant to be as strong as the previous one.
They're doing a third one. I know that.
Are they?
Yeah.
Mm.
And the other day I tried to vote for this, but I couldn't.
Why is that?
I don't know. It just didn't let me.
Didn't let you.
I tried to vote, but it didn't.
Yeah, well, these weird things happen sometimes,
Yeah.
don't they?
So, sadly, Peter Capaldi and Jenna Coleman never made it through to the Best Drama Performance category.
Yeah, see,
However, David Tennant did for his role in Broadchurch.
I cannot fathom how Capaldi could not have got nominated after his performance in that last season.
I know.
I mean, it was universally acclaimed, wasn't it?
It was.
Pretty much everybody was sort of saying about how strong, whether they liked the episodes or not. I don't think there was any doubting how great Capaldi
My
was.
bet will be that it gets nominated. It will get nominated and win one award this year.
I think it will.
Whatever one it is, BAFTAs or anything.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if he doesn't win something.
I think definitely he will. Maybe Jenna Coleman, because she was quite good in it.
Very good, weren't they?
But I think Peter Capaldi mainly.
Yeah.
So you can vote in the show notes for this year's nominees.
Unless you have the same problems as what you had.
Yeah. The award ceremony will take place on 20th of January 2016, broadcast on ITV. So we'll keep you in with the latest.
We'll be there. Watching ITV. No, you won't actually. Nothing in the world makes you watch ITV. It's an awful channel.
It's not as bad as Channel 5, though.
I don't know. Yeah, you've got it right.
It's not as bad.
Right. I hate ITV. You get the occasional good thing on there.
Yeah.
Not very often. So, good bit of new, interesting bit of news, and
yes.
I guess that's the thing, isn't it? Although I don't suppose we can expect to see a great amount of Doctor Who news as such over this sort of time of year. I guess what you will start seeing is the various award ceremonies beginning to be announced, won't you?
Yes. So the season 9 ratings have kind of been completed.
Have they?
Not with the L+7s for the last few episodes.
How long did it take?
We've got the final rating for Husbands of River Song announced. Okay. It's 7.69 million, which is almost a 2 million increase from overnight to final.
Crumbs.
We just need to see what the L+7 consolidated figure would be.
Excellent. Okay. Because I know not everybody likes all these stats and things, but I always find them quite interesting.
Yeah, I do.
I don't think you can read too much into them, because I think we've talked about on many occasions before. TV viewing figures are just down generally.
No, yeah. Because there was something. Sherlock was down, I heard. Mm-hmm. From someone, but then I heard on the BBC News that it was really good ratings. So it might not have been as good as previous years, but it was quite good.
But it's all about expectations, isn't it? You know, if they know that the viewing figures are going to be down because that's the way things are now, then that doesn't mean that it's bad just because everything is down. It still becomes proportional. How does the Sherlock ratings compare to the Doctor Who ratings? Is it?
I don't know. I think it's a lot higher.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, so that surprises me. I would have thought that Doctor Who would still have had a greater appeal than Sherlock.
Do you?
Yeah. Okay, so do we have further news at all?
Yes. Trying to.
Your Doctor Who TV thing's back on now, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I'm just looking on here just to see more. So, Doctor Who magazine 495 is out.
Ah, cool.
It came through my door, surprisingly.
Your letterbox this morning? Or, no, not this morning. Thursday, probably, wasn't it?
Yes, it was Thursday.
Yeah.
So, in this issue, Doctor Who magazine finds out what happens when River Song runs into the 8th Doctor in the new audio series, The Diary of the River Song, and interviews both Paul McGann and Alex Kingston. So, how do you think they would meet?
Ooh.
Because that's a very weird one. How would they meet?
I mean, I guess the thing is, what we know now is from the weddings, the husbands of River Song, sorry, we know that she's meeting the Doctor at all sorts of times, isn't she?
Yeah.
Because she basically meets the 11th first, yeah?
Yes.
She meets the 11th first, then the 12th, and then the 10th.
Yeah.
So it's all higgledy-piggledy. So presumably she will meet Paul McGann somewhere in between
Yeah.
the 11th Doctor and the 12th Doctor, I would think.
Yeah, there's a timeline with all of the little things, you know.
Yeah.
All of the little episodes that she's in.
Yeah. That'd be interesting
That's quite good. It's got her timeline from when she was born to to the silence in the library, when Forest of the Dead, when she dies.
I nearly watched that the other day, and then something happened, and I forgot and didn't get around to it. But I must watch that one because I feel like it's an episode I should see.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what sort of things do we have in the Doctor Who magazine?
So we also have Doctor Who showrunner Stephen Moffat answers questions about the recent episode Heaven Sent, and find out whether the Doctor ever had to run around the castle naked.
Yes. Have you read that yet or not?
No, I haven't read that yet.
You'll have to tell us what the answer is to that.
Yes, I will next week.
Mm.
The latest comic strip adventure concludes with part 2 of The Dragon Lord, written by Steve Lyons and art from Adrian Salmon. Now, I have to be honest, the last comic, even though there were some raving reviews, I was quite disappointed by the first part of The Dragon Lord, and I hope the second part's better.
Yeah. And one of the things I got you for Christmas, isn't it, were a couple of old Tom Baker comic strips. Have you read them at all?
No, I haven't yet.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what those are like.
I don't want to take them out of their case.
I know what you mean. They're quite nice, aren't they?
So Doctor Who fans of the 1970s will get nostalgic as we take a trip down memory lane and meet the artist behind Weetabix's series of artwork cards, which were launched in 1975 and given away with packets of breakfast cereal.
I wonder if I had those.
Maybe you did.
Maybe.
The Time Team returns to watch the first adventure of the 11th Doctor, the 11th Hour. What will they make of the new Doctor, Amy Pond, and Prisoner Zero? A tribute to stuntman Derek Ware, who worked on Doctor Who during its first decade and has recently passed away at the age of 77.
Oh.
The Fact of Fiction takes an in-depth look at the 1974 Third Doctor adventure, Death to the Daleks. Dawn reviews the recent Christmas special, Husbands of River Song. We also take a look at the latest books and audio and revisit 1968's Wheel in Space and 1977's Face of Evil.
Am I right in thinking that the Dawn reviews were always a little bit biased?
What do you mean?
Because obviously it's linked to Doctor Who, the item.
What, they're always positive?
They're always positive, yeah.
What I've read.
Yeah.
And finally, vote for your favourites of the most recent series, plus the book and audio releases from the past 12 months. Plus, all the latest official news, previews of upcoming releases, competitions, the answers to the Watchers fiendishly festive quiz, the Dawn crossword, and much more.
Otherwise known as the most difficult quiz in the world ever.
What one?
That festive quiz.
I know it was.
Was that the one you started running by me? And it was like,
Yes.
I had no idea what any of them were.
Yes, it was. It was terribly hard.
Yeah.
Terribly. So,
That's what we should do one day on here. We should do a live quiz.
maybe we should, yeah.
Quickly. Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Topps Doctor Who trading cards. So Doctor Who Topps trading cards have recently been released in the United States. Topps Doctor Who trading cards is the first comprehensive Doctor Who trading card released in the US. Featuring 200 base cards, this set explores characters and storylines from across the whole 50-plus years of the Doctor Who saga.
Well, that's in America, did you say?
Yes.
Oh, right.
There are 5 insert sets to chase. Memorable moments, companions, Christmas time, Who is the Doctor, and gadgets.
Christmas time?
Yeah.
That's a weird one.
I know.
No monsters.
No. Christmas time, but no monsters.
That's weird, isn't it?
There are monsters on there, like the Ood.
Yeah. Okay.
So 30 TARDIS patch cards, autographs from 31 signers, including David Tennant, Tom Baker, Colin Baker, Paul McGann, Peter Davidson, Billy Piper, Alex Kingston, Freema Agyeman, Noel Clarke, John Barrowman, Clara Lamford, and many more. 4 costume pieces, including the Doctor's suit trousers, Ood alien costume, Sally Sparrow's coat, and Rory's green shirt. 15 signed TARDIS patch cards from the Doctor and companions. 3 ultra-rare cut signatures from the original 3 Doctors. 1 ultra-rare signed costume piece featuring Dave Tennant. An additional set, Doctor Who Timeless, will be released in May.
Okay, I've got a question for you here.
Yes.
It's not really related to this, but it's been prompted by, if you were making a Doctor Who Frankenstein, so you could choose the head of any Doctor, the costume of any Doctor, and the voice of any Doctor, and combine them into one figure, who would it be? What would you
Tom Baker's head.
Mm-hmm.
Colin Baker's costume, because I laugh at Colin Baker's costume.
Yeah.
What else did you say?
And voice.
Voice. John Hurt.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? Although wouldn't it also be quite funny to have like a stern face? So perhaps have like sort of John Hurt's head, and then have Patrick Troughton's voice. Oh no, no! Can you imagine that with John Hurt's head? Anyway, sorry, that was a silly thing to go on to. I apologise.
So last week we did a little thing from Doctor Who News, which is on this day. So it's 9th of January today. Happy 9th of January! So on this day, The Rescue, Desperate Measures, was broadcast in 1965 at 5:41 p.m. and was watched by 13 million viewers.
Makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yes. Terror of the Autons Episode 2 was broadcast in 1971 at 5:14 p.m. watched by 8 million viewers.
So actually, the viewers went down quite a bit at that sort of time, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
It surprised me. I would have thought that was a really sort of popular time.
Yeah. I suppose it would have been, but it wasn't. I don't think it would have been. So, Steve Plytas died 1994, aged 81, would be 103 today, credited as Wigner in The 10th Planet. Imelda Staunton is 60 today, credited as voice of Interface in Girl Who Waited. And Gypsy Kemp died 2015, aged 70, credited as unit radio operator in Day of the Daleks. So,
okay.
And also yesterday would have been Peter Capaldi. No, William Hartnell's 108th birthday.
Would it really?
I think it was 18.
Good on you, William.
Good on you. But he, yeah, 108 he would have been.
108.
But he died in 1975.
Yes. Okay. So, do we have other news, or does that bring us to the end of the news collection?
I think that was the end already of the news list for today.
Okay, so short and sweet. What does that bring us on to then, in terms of
It brings us on to our main feature today, which is the first part of Doctor Through the Decades.
So do you want to just explain the concept a little bit?
So we do things like this all around from in between series. But in this feature, we are looking through each period of Doctor Who's history. 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, the Wilderness Years, 2000s and 2010s.
Okay.
So, Yeah, we're going to be looking through all of them, and we are going to be picking out the best Doctor, companion, bits, monsters, things, and worse things.
Okay.
So we're just going to have an in-depth look today into the first ever era of Who, 1960s.
Okay, so what years does that take us from then?
That takes us from 1963
Mm-hmm.
to 1969. So should I give a little sum up of what happened in these years?
Yeah, if you could, yeah.
So in 1963, Doctor Who was first broadcast on human screens with an unearthly child. After 2 filmings, it went quite well. A very good introduction to the Doctor and also his new companions. We were hurtled across into dark and dangerous adventures. At the end of 1963, after that first ever adventure, we faced the first episode of one of the most iconic Doctor Who villains ever, probably the most iconic Doctor Who villain ever, the Daleks. And that's probably the thing you'd say, what monster can you think of from Doctor Who first? The Daleks.
I think you might. I think most people would say that, wouldn't they?
Yes. So, as well as fighting alien creatures like the Daleks, the Vord, the Sensorites, the Doctor, Susan, Barbara and Ian go to historical periods and meet Marco Polo, go to the Aztec times, and go to and be miniaturized. So, but then in 1964, towards the Christmas period of 1964, we faced the first farewell of a companion, Susan. The first ever companion, the Doctor's granddaughter, Susan Foreman. She left she didn't want to leave, but the Doctor made her leave to stay with her new-formed boyfriend. So later on after that, in the rescue, Vicky joined the TARDIS crew.
Mm-hmm.
But later on, there was another farewell when Barbara and Ian left in The Chase, which was also the first story with Stephen, played by Peter Purvis. This was also just after Stephen's first episode. When we saw Stephen for the first time in his first full episode, we faced the first Time Lord that isn't the Doctor or Susan in Doctor Who, the meddling monk. Mm-hmm. Stephen and Polly, Stephen and Vicky and Dodo eventually left, leaving the Doctor to regenerate with Ben and Polly, and this was quite an iconic moment when the Doctor regenerates for the first ever time. In this regeneration, he faces Cybermen 4 times, Dalek 2 times, in what was apparently going to be the last 2 ever Dalek stories before a Dalek spin-off would be created. We also got the Ice Warriors come into Doctor Who for the first time, as well as Gridlock creatures and the Macra. Then we got Jamie, who's the longest running ever companion. And then the Doctor regenerated at the end and was exiled to Earth.
Okay. And that takes us to the end of the 60s.
Yes.
So basically, it's sort of right to the end of Patrick Troughton's era. So John Pertwee started in the 70s.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay, I hadn't realised it was quite so cut like that. So when was the last Patrick Troughton one? Was it actually in 1969?
War Games 1969.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so what are we actually going to be doing then on this? Your bit of background that you've given.
We are going to be answering some questions about this period.
Okay.
So a lot went on in this period, as I've just said.
Yep.
In my long description. Hopefully you didn't get bored there, guys.
I was just thinking actually about how well you did, because you've got no notes in front of you or anything.
No, I don't have any notes.
Ad-libbed it.
Yes, that's why I was saying hope people didn't get bored.
So, okay. So we've got a number of questions we're going to ask ourselves on this.
Yes.
Which I imagine you've got written down.
I've got them written down, but I know where they are. It's just I just have to wait a second.
Good idea though. I like that. I like the concept of Doctor of the Decade, and they're both. It's interesting, isn't it? They obviously decided very early on with Doctor Who that when the Doctor regenerated, they wanted it to be quite a different character, because the character that Patrick Troughton brought was very, very different than William Hartnell, wasn't it?
Yes.
So that obviously
more clumsy, more kind, really.
Yeah, certainly, definitely not as grumpy. I know he could get this grump on as all the Doctors can at times, can't you? But
yes.
But overall, it was a lot more friendly. So, questions.
Let's start with best Doctor of the decade. William Hartnell or Patrick Troughton?
For me, however much I like William Hartnell, and I do, I really like his portrayal, and obviously he's the first Doctor.
And it was his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to him yesterday.
So kudos for that. But it would have to be Patrick Troughton for me, because
BT.
As much as anything else, Patrick Troughton is one of my favourite Doctors, full stop.
Yeah.
He's
a good one.
Like him. I really love him. He's a real great balance between. Sometimes he's one of the few Doctors ever seems a little bit cowardly at times.
Yes. No, Jamie, Zoe.
He's obviously alien, but he's also at times one of the most human that they've had.
Yes, and he's quite an interesting portrayal, really.
Yeah. So yeah, it definitely have to be Patrick Troughton for me. What else do I like about him? I think also he by that stage they'd moved away a little bit from the original intentions of the series of it being a historical based science fiction, and moved more to it being aliens and planets.
Yeah, the Highlanders was the last proper historical story which didn't have any aliens or monsters or anything in it.
And it's not that I'm against all the historical ones, but I probably do generally prefer the non-historical ones.
I don't like the first Doctor historical ones that I've seen.
No.
I like the first Doctor's period, but historicals are just a bad thing in the 1960s.
Yeah.
Okay. They're just really boring. I mean, I like 1960s Who, but historicals ruin it for me.
Okay. What about episode?
You're gonna have to say the War Games for the second Doctor.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's let's see. I think so. I mean, I really like Enemy of the World.
Yes.
Well. Really like that one. I love the whole thing.
And the first part of An Unearthly Child.
Yes.
Because if you've listened to this podcast before, then you may know that I love the first part of An Unearthly Child, but then I don't really like it because, as I said a minute ago, it's historical.
Yeah. What I must say though is at the same point, there's quite a few episodes I've not seen. Certainly William Hartnell's I've not seen very many of at all. Patrick Troughton's I've seen a lot more, but obviously not all of them are there anyway. There's a handful I'd really like to watch.
Yeah.
Such as the Meddling Monk one.
Yes, that is a good one. I'd like to, even though it is a historical, I'd like to see Marco Polo when it's released.
Yeah.
If it's released.
The other one that I'd really like to see is the Daleks Invasion.
That is a very good one.
Right?
Yes, that is a very good one.
Yeah, we were watching the trailer of that last week, weren't we?
Yes.
And, I really like the look of that one. Okay. Monster.
Well, obviously, I think with me, even though the Daleks are the most iconic, I think I'm gonna have to say the Cybermen.
I'm gonna go with you on that one because I really love the early Cybermen.
And the designs, and just them full stop. The Cybermen are great in 1960s. So
Yeah, they're at their best, aren't
they're
they?
at their best.
In terms of looking scary.
I mean, they're in Tomb of the Cybermen, one of the greatest Cybermen stories ever, maybe the greatest Cyberman story ever. Even though I slightly prefer the Invasion, maybe.
That's the thing, though, isn't it? When you look at it, and we're talking about Patrick Troughton episodes. There are some cracking Troughton episodes.
There
isn't
are.
There, really? Yeah, you've got Web of Fear, you've got Invasion, you've got
Tomb,
Cybermen,
War Games, Enemy of the World.
Enemy of the World. Yeah, brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah, really, really good stuff.
Great period.
And probably others that we won't never get to see.
Yeah, I know.
Alas.
Shame. I really want to watch Power of the Daleks, the first story with the Second Doctor in.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to watch that episode.
It does seem a shame that's not available.
And the 10th planet, the final part of the 10th planet, is actually missing.
Yeah, that seems criminal as well, doesn't it? And obviously the regeneration scene's been saved, doesn't it? And they've done the animated one.
The episode after Power of the Daleks, Highlanders, is also fully destroyed.
Yeah.
So 2 episodes in a row where there's 12 episodes in a row which aren't existing anymore.
Yeah, shame.
In proper footage.
It's hard to believe now because of the fact that we're now in a digital age where people not only expect to be able to see things again, they also expect to be able to see them again straight away because they're so used to just turning on iPlayer or Netflix or something like that and just streaming whatever on earth they want to watch. And back then it was a completely different idea because there was never really any thought given to people ever wanting to watch anything again, isn't it? It was very much about you watch it once and it's gone. And
that's such a shame.
It is such a shame, really. You can't imagine books working like that, can you? You can't imagine an author. You imagine what it would have been like if, like Charles Dickens, for instance, had written a book, given it to people, and then when they'd finished reading it, he'd ripped it up. It just wouldn't have happened.
No.
So
why did it have to happen back then? They were so stupid.
Do you want any honourable mentions in terms of monsters?
Well, Ice Warriors and Daleks are up there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I'm sure there's a creature that I missed out from the Second Doctor.
Yeti, maybe?
Yeah, great intelligence. Yeah, those were good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, companions.
So, I'd probably have to go with Jamie.
Yeah. I would probably go for Zoe.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what, actually. What's the picky, isn't it? The companion in Enemy of the World?
Victoria.
Victoria, sorry.
Yeah.
Do you know, the first episode we watched with her, I found her like really annoying and just really irritating because she screamed. Yeah, very whingy. But actually, the more I watched it, I grew quite attached to her.
She probably is the second most whingiest companion behind Mel.
Yeah, but I grew a real fondness for her, and but I think I'll go for Zoe. I liked the fact that she was really intelligent.
Yes, she was good, but I'm gonna have to say Jamie, the longest running companion, just a classic companion. I have to say honourable mentions though to Susan.
Yep.
For being the first ever companion.
Yeah.
Doing quite a good job at it.
And you like Ian and Barbara quite a bit as well, don't you?
Not quite a bit. I don't mind them.
Oh right, okay.
The first Doctor could. I don't mind Ian.
Yeah.
Ian's quite good. Barbara's all right.
Yeah.
She's better now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think she was quite good in Dalek Invasion of Earth, but she wasn't good in like an Unearthly Child.
Yeah.
I mean, in the later parts.
Okay. What's the worst thing about the decade? I think I know what the worst thing is for me.
Missing episodes.
Yeah. I think that's got to be, isn't it? Just the whole fact that there's so much that we'll never get to see.
well, we may get to see some of them, like Underwater Menace has just been released.
Yeah.
Well, I've got it, as I said a couple of weeks ago on this podcast. Mr. Deacle gave it to me as a Christmas present.
It's
Yeah.
just a shame there's a few bits missing.
Yeah, I've only watched the first part so far, but I'm trying because I've had a lot to watch over Christmas, a lot to do. I haven't watched any more than the first part.
It's a shame really that they weren't able to do like they did with some of the other ones where they had the animated bits in there.
I mean, you've seen one animated episode?
Yeah.
The Moon Base?
Yeah. And it's definitely a lot better than the pictures. I mean, I've only watched one, I think, with the pictures on it, which was the missing part of Web of Fear.
Yes.
But it's good that they've released Underwater Menace anyway. It's a shame that it hasn't got the animated bits, but alas, that's the way it's going to be. That's the way it is. How many episodes is that?
4.
4, and there's 2 missing.
Yes, 2 missing. But parts 2 and 3 I'm looking forward to because they're not missing.
Yeah. Okay. It's a shame the last part's missing, isn't
it? I know. I want to see the Nothing in the World Stops Me Now.
Yeah. You'll love it, don't we? Okay. So the best thing. Well, is there anything else on the worst things you might wear?
Probably not.
I mean, you could look at it and sort of say that it's dated in many respects. But I think you could probably say that from everything up until the new Who, really.
Yeah. Remember the cliffhanger to part 2 of the Unearthly Child, where it was just the skull and Susan screamed.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah. No, indeed.
That's the cliffhanger.
It is very
rubbish
different,
cliffhanger.
And the monsters are obviously a little bit ropey at times, but you know, it's just it was just the way things were, wasn't it?
Yes.
And it's wrong to be critical of that, and it's also part of its charm.
Yes, it is charming.
What do you think is the best thing?
Hard to pick out one best thing.
I think the best things really are just to do with the whole franchise of it, really, and just the whole fact.
The creation of Doctor Who is the best thing.
And the whole, I think whoever came up with the idea of regeneration,
that's incredible.
Was genius, because just in doing that, it immediately gave the show a far longer life, didn't it? I mean, William Hartnell would make a comment about it being 5 years. Probably.
Yeah, this show will last 5 years, not putting at least at the ending or saying less than 5 years. He just said 5 years.
So he was probably, as much as anything else, just assuming it would last for as long as he was going to be in it.
Yes.
You know, there's never really any suggestion that he could regenerate.
And I mean, I'm not saying that they were done back then, but it's incredible how back then they could come up with an idea like that.
Yeah, and it just works really well in Doctor Who, doesn't it? I mean, obviously it happens a fair bit in things like James Bond, for instance, but I mean that's quite odd in itself, isn't it, with the James Bond one, because he's obviously meant to be the same person, but you also look at it and you think, well, that's very, very strange, because he's got a completely different personality than what he has.
It's like EastEnders when like kids change their face.
Yeah, no, that's right. So, anything else to comment on in terms of 1960s?
Should we just give a roundup of what we think? So, this was a great period for Doctor Who.
As most of them are.
Maybe not near the top of the best, but somewhere in the middle. It's definitely above 1980s, and that may be the only one that it's above.
Yeah.
But it did show the start of Doctor Who, and how strong was that? The creation of the Daleks, Cybermen, regeneration, Time Lords, and a whole new world. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Your roundup?
My roundup. Have I really got anything to say above and beyond that? They just introduced something which I don't think anyone ever believed it was going to last for as long as it has. It's still with us. We still look fondly back on those black and white episodes. Many of the villains that we faced back in those early days,
Huge face.
we still see now.
Yes.
gave us the whole concept of regeneration, gave us the opportunity to see Patrick Troughton. Good decade, I think.
Good decade, yeah.
Yeah.
Strong.
Certainly, as you say, better than the 80s. Or maybe we'll do a roundup at the end of this anyway as to which order we have.
Yeah. I don't know whether it's second to last.
It's certainly not as strong as the 70s.
No. It's not as strong as the 2010s.
No.
May be better than the RTD.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So it's in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. Good item, by the way.
Yes.
I think we'll look forward for the 1970s.
Yes.
When the decade I was born. I was born in 71, so it's my decade. Really.
Yes, your decade.
I probably remember more of the late 70s, early 80s, just because of the age thing. So, what does that bring us on to next?
It brings us on to our randomizer review this week.
Okay. So, Sea Devils.
Yes.
6-parter.
Yeah.
So
we've only watched 3 parts of it.
As we normally would with the randomizer.
Yes.
If it's a 6-part episode, we watch over 2 weeks. So
yes.
No magic button to press this week, I'm afraid.
Sadly, but we will next week.
We will next week. So the Sea Devils, very brief roundup.
Yes. Parts 1 to 3.
Parts 1 to 3. Right, okay. Third Doctor, John Pertwee, and his companion, Joe.
Yep.
How does it start?
The prison.
It does, yeah. Initially, they're going off to see the Master, who's imprisoned, which you said follows on from a previous episode.
The Diamonds. It's not the episode after the Diamonds, but because the Diamonds is a season finale, it's a few episodes after the Diamonds.
Okay, but that was the one where the Master was arrested.
Yes.
So Delgado is the Master, and second billing actually, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Love Joe.
So there seems to be some fairly good chat banter between the two of them actually, doesn't it? You really get that appreciation and feeling that the Doctor and the Master were just friends, really.
Yes.
Regardless of the different elements.
At one point.
Yeah.
Back in the academy.
As it turns out, the Master is duping them all. He's not really there as a prisoner. He's actually managed to convince the governor of the prison, Trenchard, that there's a chance that he could get him promoted if they manage to solve these issues relating to attackers.
Yes.
Now, in the meantime, and the big thrust of the story, certainly the latter parts we've not got to yet, the moment it's very Master heavy.
Yes, it is.
But there's ships going missing. The ships are going missing because they're being taken by Sea Devils, who, for those that aren't aware, is a distant cousin of the Silurians.
Second cousins of the Silurians, I think.
That's it. A lot more, probably a lot more warlike, I would suggest.
Yeah.
The Silurians seem a bit more peaceful generally, don't they?
Yes.
But Sea Devils certainly fairly keen on wiping out the planet.
Yes.
And that's probably enough for a bit of background, isn't it? Yeah. What did you make of it so far? Well, you've seen it a few times anyway, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I really enjoyed this episode. I've seen it a few times, but it is just a classic episode. It introduces the Sea Devils. They're iconic, even though they've only been in 2 stories so far. Hopefully, they return sometime. But we have some great iconic moments, including my favourite moment in this episode, the sword fight between the Doctor and the Master.
The sword fight's great, isn't it? It's not just it's a sword fight, but it's also the music that accompanies it, isn't it? Because it's very dated 70s. Blips and blobs from the keyboard. Yeah. But it's a great moment, isn't it? I love the sword fight. I love the fact that you've got this prison area and there's swords outside the prison, just conveniently there. You know, I can't think of anything. Would they really have that anywhere near a place where there's prisoners going to be in case they got out? But anyway, it makes for a great bit of telly. I love the bit where the Doctor actually has got his sword pointed at the Master's throat and he chomps into somebody's food.
Yes.
Love it.
Doesn't that violent action make you hungry?
Yeah. There's also the final, because we watched the first 3 parts so far.
Yes.
The cliffhanger for part 3.
Yes.
is
We're
again
trying not to spoil anything here.
Another
but-
fairly iconic moment, isn't it? With
Yes.
sea devils coming out of the sea.
Yes, that is an iconic moment. The first, proper sea devil moment. I mean, we have seen them before in the episode, but not as big as that. They haven't had a cliffhanger yet, and now it's time to see the sea devils in action.
So that's probably enough of our talking about the sea devils, isn't it? In many respects, because we're obviously going to talk about it in a lot more detail next week once we've watched all 6 episodes.
Out of the first 3 parts, what's been your favourite so far?
Good question. It's funny, really, because part of me is thinking the first episode, just because it's the background. But all the best moments are in the other ones.
Yeah.
Because you've obviously got the sword fight, you've got the bit with the sea devils coming out of the water.
I'm going to say part 2 because of the sword fight.
Yeah, I'm going to give it part 3 because it starts with the sword fight.
Oh, yeah.
And goes right through to things like...
Oh, yeah, part 3. Because part 3, right at the beginning, it plays all of the sword fight again.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. So, I'm going to go for part 3. It's also got the great bit when Joe's being pursued or being hunted down by the prison guards, who are incredibly crap, aren't they?
Yeah, like London Day,
Yeah, just like London Day.
She goes like a karate chop, like the third Doctor. She goes. No, that sounds like 80s.
But it's good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff, and obviously Delgado's great as the master.
Yes. So next week we will be here to conclude our review on all of the parts all together of the Sea Devils. So join us here this time next week to have our review overall.
Excellent.
And that's part 2 of our review.
So one more piece of the show today.
Yes.
We're slightly less busy the show when we've got no episodes or anything working out.
Yep.
But we've got a Who to Face.
Yes.
Now, for people that aren't in the know, Who to Face is a little game that we created. And basically the answers in the title. Who, as in Doctor Who, to face
a monster.
A monster. Now, those that are familiar with the randomizer will know that it's a spreadsheet with all the Doctor Who episodes on it, where you press a button and it randomly picks one. The Who to Face generator is a similar concept that we've put together, where it's got all of the Doctors in one jar, all of the monsters, well, not all of them, but a fair chunk of monsters.
Yes, like jar. 100.
Yeah.
Around 100.
We press a button and it will randomly pick one thing from each jar to put one Doctor against a monster, and then Lewis and myself take it in turns.
I think I'm first today, sadly.
Yeah, of making up a story on the spot of what we think you could do with that Doctor and that monster. So that's probably enough of an explanation. Should we see what the generator provides us with?
Now, this morning I was really looking forward to this, but but now I know I'm going first. I'm dreading it. Right.
It's always harder when you're the first one, isn't it? Because you haven't got very long to come up with a story.
Options.
It's not that much easier when you're the second one.
Fenric with the third Doctor.
Okay. Fenric, can you just remind me? That's those sort of undeady type things.
Well, those are the herbivores, but we'll class it as the same thing.
Okay. Against which Doctor? The third Doctor?
Yes.
John Pertwee.
John Pertwee.
Okay, John Pertwee.
Right. It's going to be hard because Fenric and the herbivores are a 1980s creation.
For the benefit of me, who's never seen the episode Curse of Fenric before, what actually are they? Where do they come from?
I think they're like vampire versions of people.
Okay.
Watch Curse of Fenric.
So sort of something undeady, are they?
Yes, they're undead people things.
Okay.
Right. Mine's going to be called The Disease of Fenric.
Okay.
So the Doctor and Joe, they're traveling around the universe, where Joe notices there's a distress signal, and they crash down on a planet, and that's where they get out, and they are approached by this guy with very pale and moly skin, and he says, "Help me! They infected me. Help me! They are," and that's all they hear. And they hear incessant screams from people. But what has infected them? The Doctor, Joe, befriends a person called Makia.
Mm-hmm.
Makia.
Yeah.
Makia. But later on, it turns out he goes out and he's hypnotized by the Master. So the Master's there as well, and he says, "You will obey me." Yes, sir. And Makia takes Joe to the Master and the Hemovore King, and they have this syringe, and they put it into Joe's neck. But she later becomes infected by this disease and is slowly turning into a hemovore. Can the Doctor stop it, the disease, or will it be too late for Joe?
Okay, good one. Well done, by the way. That was great. Off the top of your head.
Yeah, okay.
I've still not really fully got one myself, but it's going to be. What was John Pertwee's first companion called again?
Liz.
Liz. It's going to be a Liz one, I think, and it's called Parallel.
Yeah.
Okay. The Doctor and Liz are trying to get the TARDIS to work.
Yep.
Okay, because at the
Is
moment,
this like Inferno?
similar concept, yeah, similar concept, but before Inferno.
Ah.
They're trying to get the TARDIS to work, and it jolts them out of the TARDIS door. But then rather than being in unit, they're in that unit building at the time of the war.
Oh.
Okay, and basically there's talk coming through about people going missing. So they start trying to investigate where these people are, and they find themselves at this old train station. And in the day, there's people walking around as they normally would. At night time, the same people are walking up and down the platform. On the parallel platform, in exact time with them, there's hemovores. They sort of mirror their look.
Yeah. Going up the stairs in the train station.
Yeah. So basically, whatever one of the humans or the soldiers is doing on one side of the train station, hemovores are doing the same. And what the Doctor identifies is that the humans are gradually fading, and the hemovores are coming to the fore. So the concern is that they will actually take over. And as this isn't in the history books, the concern is that there's something which is going to change the history of the war.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is that enough?
Yes.
Because I haven't really thought of any more for it yet. But
how does it? What did you say a name for it?
Parallel.
Oh yeah.
And it's called Parallel because of the fact that they sort of mirror image.
They are parallel.
Yeah.
To each other.
Yeah. So I'm sure that could probably be a good episode if I padded it out a little bit.
I'm sure it will.
And then trying to think how it ends. I think because somehow they've got to find their way back to the TARDIS. So I think what would happen is there would be some something. Perhaps once they've actually defeated the herbivores, this portal thing opens up inside the train station, and that will be sucking the herbivores back. And at the same time, on the parallel side of it, the Doctor and Liz get sucked through, and it's the TARDIS.
But Liz then gets trips over a herbivore and falls onto the train, and it knocks her over.
Oh,
Poor Liz.
But that's my story. That's parallel for you. Yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed that.
Yes, I did. By the way, here's just a little thing I wanted to ask you, because in Inferno we never actually got to see the proper farewell of Liz.
No,
Remember, they just walked off.
Well, actually, in that case, I'm going to say that what happens at the end of my story, and it actually happened after Inferno.
Yeah.
And Liz was sucked in with the herbivores through into that portal, and the Doctor was sucked back into TARDIS, so we don't know what happened to her.
So the herbivore didn't trip her.
But what the Doctor does get, he finds this note from her which says that she's okay.
Oh.
But we don't see her anymore.
I want to see her like as a herbivore.
No, she's fine. But,
Liz.
apparently she opens up like a nursing home for herbivores in Hemerland. So that's my story for you. Yeah.
So we've got two great little stories that we've got this week for you to face. And you have to go next in 2 weeks' time.
Okay, we'll look forward to that. So in terms of other things that are going around and happening on your website, we're hoping to, obviously, since we last did the podcast, you released your Sherlock
Abominable Bride review.
Yeah, which went under the Behind the Sofa moniker, didn't it?
Yes.
We've also got a new Behind the Sofa, hopefully being released today or tomorrow, depending on how the editing goes.
Hopefully today, but
I think we'll finish it today. It's just whether or not it goes live on YouTube or not. And that's for the Gopolis.
Yes, and that's going to be a good one, so make sure you check that out. That will be released late today, early tomorrow, hopefully.
And what else have we got going on in the Mr. Lewis Moon world? Anything else for the week?
Not much for the week. Those, obviously, we've got a new series of the Figure Adventures coming up, and we will. There's not a confirmed date. We're hoping it's out by I'm saying hopefully it'll be starting on the 13th of February.
Okay, so that's the second half of this current series, isn't it?
And that's a week later than I hoped it would be. But I think we're a couple of weeks behind.
I think we are. The episode we're doing at the moment is taking quite a long time to edit.
And that's your episode. It's
my fault for writing things with too many hands in it. Okay, I think that probably brings us to the end, doesn't it?
Yeah, so thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you very much.
That was episode 141.
What do we have on episode 142?
On episode 142 of Doctor Who Time and Space, we are going to be looking at 1970s Who, similar to what we did in this week's feature, Doctor of the Decades. Through the decades, just a Tom Baker and John Pertwee edition. So make sure you tune into that. That'll be good.
Okay, we'll also be rounding off the second half of the Sea Devils and giving our thoughts on that.
We will be pressing the magic randomizer button.
Yes! We will have a quiz or question.
And we will be giving you some more news and views in the Whoniverse and the Mr. Lewis Mooniverse.
Good stuff. All right, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Yes, I'm Lewis Moon.
And I'm Deacle.
Thank you for listening. See you next week. Goodbye.